All right, everyone, we are here with War 5 against Night Guardians. Today I will be taking in Havoc, Ironheart, and Deathless Thanos. I have Path 5 in Section 1, Path 1 in Section 2, and a shared fight on one of the shared islands. So, starting out here, Path 5, we have a Skull, Red Skull. We are taking this with Deathless Thanos. You're going to see with my Thanos fights, which there are 3, that I'm constantly grappling with the fact that I know Thanos' actual rotation, and against Tactic, you don't want to stick to that rotation. Mostly because it builds buffs on you with Special 1, and second, you're not always going to heavy, and in this scenario, I want to heavy almost every time to either, in this case, Ebb and Flow knockdown, get the Fury, or place a slow debuff. So, as I said with this fight, it's mostly heavy. Retaliate the Special 1 with a heavy combo and end with a heavy, bait out Skull's Special 1, try to do all of this without dexing. Because I am duped in max sig, where Thanos is, my ability accuracy when Red Skull's armor ups are below 6 is still 100% for his abilities, so that heavy charge is going to work as long as our armor ups are low. So started out there good with heavies and retaliating this first Special 1 with heavies, using the counter punch for openings, which I should have done there instead of just actually fought. But again, the counter punch, not a big deal since there aren't abilities I'm pausing. Yes, I'll build more charges off the counter punch, but yeah, mistake there. Go in during auto block instead of heavy retaliate. I was out of range. Get pushed to Special 3 here because I tried to heavy while he was unstoppable from a dex buff ending. Get a little bit cornered here because I'm out of range to retaliate that Special 1. I was trying to dex it without actually getting the dex buff and failed. So Special 3 to reset everything and create some space. This gives us the Fury. I'm going to actually hit this auto block again like a dummy. And here's where I focus back up, start working out this fight properly instead of what I've been doing. Want a Special 1 here. We do it without him without dexing. We're in range to retaliate. So now we're benefiting from this Fury. And again, should have just retaliated there, but it's fine. We're just working on heavies. Want a Special 1 out of here from Red Skull without creating a dex buff. There we go. We're close enough to the wall now. It's really easy to retaliate with the heavy. Get the Fury there. Hoped he would come in on that, and he did not. Go here into a heavy. Just chipping away here. I was going to stick with Special 3s because of the passive corrosion. So that is why I'm building to another Special 3, and because that removed protection, this will do it. So cleaned it up there. It's actually really hard to die with Thanos thanks to that protection at 25%. Next up, a fight I haven't taken before, Ironheart. We're going against Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Game plan here is somewhat simple. You have to be aggressive and dex a lot, try to intercept a lot in the beginning to get your incinerates. And once you get the tracking passive on, then it should be somewhat simple, because then you're going to be able to parry her non-contact attacks for stuns. So it's just working out between hitting her with mediums and dexing, getting these first few incinerates. But once you get them, and I push her to Special 1 here, and then I want this out, and she's not really having it with me, and the evade is about to come back, and I'm not tracking her, so I decide off of this Special 1 we are going to retaliate and use our Special 1 for the knockdown. Now, plus side here, we got the protection removed, and we can now safely parry. However, the game plan would have been to get a heavy in after getting tracking up to drop the protection and then nuke her with Special 2. So instead, we're in this Special 1 cycle of retaliating and being able to parry. Now we can't because we don't have the incinerates, so I throw a Special 1 here. Gets the knockdown but doesn't get the incinerates we need. Of course, a intercept there, but she throws Special 1 right away, so it's perfectly fine. It gets us to get the incinerates on we need so that we can parry, and it pushed us to Special 2 so that we can get close to finishing it here. And then the last little bit will go down after this Special 1 while we have the Fury. So not a clean fight, but definitely a very safe fight. We move on to my most chaotic fight of the war. We had this Onslaught on Never Back Down. And I would have preferred to have tried it with a tactic champion. However, the constant dexing would eventually make him unblockable the whole time. So I didn't want to do that. So instead we go in with Havoc and we decide to try and cheese it so that the interaction with Neuroshock just builds plasma like crazy, and then we end up detonating him to death. So this is a very sloppy fight because I'm doing a mix of throw special 1 please, block parts of special 1 to build Neuroshocks, and then you see here at the beginning these extra large boneheads decide not to throw a special attack as I'm trying to back up, and then finally throws one. So I'm taking damage from Neuroshocks, but I'm hoping the detonate damage will outpace the damage I take. And it's just a mix of that and trying to avoid unblockable / crush. So in theory, this works. I'm also trying to avoid dexing too much to bait special attacks, but you can see that's not working too well. He's still regenning. Yeah, this is going to be an ugly, sloppy fight. If anything, we beat this in the same way that Human Torch beats Mystics if he does nothing. He just kind of melts them from being melted. So laugh at how comical this is. I didn't have a game plan on special attacks. I figured I'd get enough heavies in to maybe get to 5 prowess so that we can throw a special 3 and just nuke them down. But you're going to see here it does not do a great deal of damage. And that's because I only had 1 prowess. So still a fine chunk. And then whatever happened there, it was probably Crush. Yeah, Crush is still activated. Thought I was blocking or dexing all of that and didn't work out. But down goes Onslaught anyways. Next up, fight that starts off interesting. So Killmonger's not a sugar pill tactic. So I can play Thanos a little more appropriate to his rotation here. The only downside is that the node has buffet, and we are going to be feeding that like crazy. So we are going to end up with an unblockable Killmonger quite often. On top of that, well, I mean, to kind of not worry about that too much, is if we do eat a special attack, we probably won't bleed out because of the decay tactic. So here, get the reverb on right away. We started with 30 charges because someone on my team want to fight. We actually had 2 champions want to fight, which means I start with 30 charges at the beginning, which means I can get this armor shatter and armor break early. But you can see here we haven't done any damage due to the regen. So now I'm trying to build up charges to 20 so that I can get to the point of building the Furies from special 1, and then I ended up getting pushed to special 2 here. So I figure, hey, let me just go to special 3, see if that's going to be a big chunk of damage, and get this passive corrosion placed so that we at least have constant damage. And I think it's in this moment where he doesn't have a lot of health off that I go, I don't know that special 3 is the play. So I think I go with special 2 next. And we lost 30 of our charges there, thanks to the armor shatter that we're trying to keep up. And yeah, looks like I was focused mostly on heavy attacks to keep an armor shatter up anytime I got to 30 charges because I didn't want to deal with reverb. So yeah, that's the game plan. There's the special 2. We're doing more damage, got some dots on him, so that's good. We already went through 1 phase of unblockable. He is down to the last 25%, so now I'm trying to avoid dexing whenever I can. We don't have an armor break. We need to get a retaliate in there. There we go. We got some charges. Gonna get to the 30. Not quite there. There's an armor shatter. And now we're gonna go ahead and try to finish the fight here. Getting close. That special 2's not doing near what it could be doing with the Furies. So yeah, I probably stuck to avoiding special 1 to avoid buffet, and down goes Killmonger. So very sloppy war, and it doesn't get any better. So Prowler here, you guys have seen me take this with Quicksilver. I actually prefer Quicksilver because then I don't have to worry about miss. And sure, Thanos counters miss, but because this has bubble shield, I didn't want to play with getting an unblockable Prowler when I needed counter punch. So this is just another messy fight, but on top of that, it's a sugar pill fight. So mentally, I can't fully or even focus on Thanos' rotation because I want to constantly knock down for the slow. But I have to build some debuffs, and luckily I'm getting that through the withers, to place the slow. Indestructible's gone there. So this just ends up being a really sloppy fight. Some Unstoppable gets mixed in. We constantly miss. Getting heavied into oblivion. But Thanos is surviving. He's quite a bit of a tank. So special 3 here to get off the wall. Doesn't do that much. We don't have the Furies on, but we have a passive corrosion now. Miss there, but at least he's slowed. No Unstoppable, so we're starting to gain some momentum here. Heavy for a knockdown so that we get the slow counter punch. Now we have the panic on so we can counter miss, but this ends right when miss disappears and I get rooted, so decide to try and special 1. We nail him for the knockdown. So now we have the slow. Okay, gonna build charges so that our next hit, or so that we can get close to throwing a special 1 so that we can add more Furies. Proc the miss there, we're rooted. Get a parry in, combo. Throw the special 1, however we did the heavy, so that put the armor shatter on there, so we didn't get the 4 Furies we would have gotten. It's fine, he's very much hurt, and we had a panic there, and down he goes. So very sloppy war, but unfortunately, against Sugar Pill, we can't really play Thanos' rotation. We ended up winning that war by a narrow margin. We would not have won on time, but we didn't die that extra time. We only died twice to their 3. So again, this tactic makes these sub 3 or less wars kind of nutty and very stressful. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit subscribe, give a like, and I will catch you guys at the next war.